Welcome everyone to Tech Tip Tuesdays with Terenee, the Tech Therapist. Welcome to our live session. We'll give folks a few more minutes to come on in, and we're going to get started on website platforms and what's best for your business. Please enter any questions into the chat, and we'll make sure to get them answered even on the live, or we'll respond via email. And I'll go ahead and put our email address in the chat. Welcome. So today we are talking about website platforms and what's best for you and your business. The battle of the website builders is what we are going to be talking about today. And so we have so many different website builders to choose from. Folks have probably heard about so many different platforms, and it's like, okay, well, which one do I choose? You've heard of probably Wix. You probably heard of Squarespace, Shopify, BigCommerce, Wix. So we're just going to take a deeper dive. But the first thing you want to definitely learn about is what kind of business that you have. So that way you can make a better choice on what kind of platform that you need to choose. For those folks who have a lot of product, over hundreds and hundreds of amount of product, or if you have, if you're a drop shipper, we're going to go into what would be the best platform for you to choose if you are a drop shipper or anything like that, which would mainly be Shopify. Shopify focuses mainly on e-commerce for those who are dealing with maybe clothes, maybe dealing with a lot of product, and you want to get it out to a bigger audience. I would definitely focus on Shopify. That way, you can have unlimited products on Shopify. You can have unlimited file storage, unlimited bandwidth on all the pricing plans. And just to back up a little bit, last week, we talked about domains and owning your domains. You can apply the domain that you purchase to your website platform, okay? That way, it'll have your domain .net or .com or .org on whichever platform that you choose. You're able to apply that domain to your website. You can have a website without a domain, but it's not going to resonate, and it's probably still going to have the website platform name attached to your store. And you want to kind of be separate and have a professional look and be able to say, this is my property, this is my domain, this is my store, and it has everything a custom and pretty much customized to your business. Okay. So again, a lot of these programs, they're gonna cost. That goes back to that initial investment that we talked about, I believe, in episode 1. Making that initial investment in your business into your website platform is what you're gonna have to do when it comes to purchasing a website builder. Okay, so you can have the domain and attach that to your website builder so you can have your website. Okay, so again, you have Shopify and Squarespace. They have 14-day free trials that you can use. But with Wix, you have an unlimited time to use your free trial. But it'll say your store.wixsite.com. Until you purchase a domain and apply it to your site, it's always going to have wixsite.com attached to your store. You kind of want to move away from that, especially if you're doing bigger business. Go ahead and invest in that domain name, and then you'll be able to apply that to your site. Okay. So again, the battle of the website builders. We'll review pricing. And again, knowing what kind of business that you have is going to resonate with what kind of builder you invest in. Okay. So Shopify, again, primarily focuses on e-commerce. Again, that unlimited amount of products, file storage, and bandwidth on all the different pricing plans. Uh, but with Shopify, you have to use add-ons and apps. So you're going to have to get add-ons for email marketing. Whereas with Squarespace and with Wix, it's kind of already included. Okay. So it just depends on what type of app you're looking for when it comes to Shopify. And they have a whole app store that you're able to go into and kind of peruse through those apps and add-ons. Some of those apps and add-ons cost. Not everything is free. So we got to think investment whenever you're thinking about building your website for your business. You may have to use some investments. You may have to make some purchases, but it's going to help boost your business. Okay. Now, if you're a drop shipper where you don't actually touch the product, Shopify is for you. Where if you're working with like an AliExpress or something like that, using a Shopify account is usually the best way in order to do your drop shipping. Okay, they're made for that. They have a whole section for drop shippers through Shopify. Okay, and it comes with a customized and POS. POS, for those folks who are trying to get their tech lingo, is point of sale. Point of sale is usually your cash register or like Square, where you go when you make a point of sale. It's the point of sale, that POS system. Well, Shopify has a POS app, okay, that you're able to use, and it comes with the payment plan. Okay. And again, they have lots of add-ons that you can choose from with Shopify, but it depends on what kind of business you're doing. Shopify is not for the artist. It's not for the photographer or any type of creative. Shopify is mainly for people who want people to buy their product, and a lot of it, maybe a lot at one time. So Shopify is mainly for that. And then you have Squarespace. Squarespace, yes, it does have an e-commerce plan that you can purchase and buy into, but with Squarespace, it's mainly focused on web design. Squarespace is more for the creative, those who have a story to tell, and who are looking to get booked. If you want to get booked, or you want to have your scheduler app. They use Equity. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they have a lot of scheduling apps that you can add on to your Squarespace, where it'll have a calendar. People can book you for an event or book your services, pay right there online. That's mainly what Squarespace is for. And SEO optimization is built into the back end already with Squarespace, whereas with Shopify, you're going to have to go ahead and add that into the product. Okay. SEO, that's another tech term. So the first tech term we talked about today was POS, that's point of sale. The second is SEO, that's search engine optimization. Those are those keywords that are injected into your website. We apply those injected keywords into the website. So when people go to search for a certain product or a certain service, your website will appear within their search. Okay, so the better SEO build that you have in the background, the better your website is optimized with those different keywords, you're most likely to get found on the web. Okay. Now with Squarespace as well, is marketed more towards small businesses versus, again, Shopify. If you have a big inventory, lots of clothes or lots of different items, you're able to use that Shopify account. Squarespace is more, again, for the creative, the artists, the photographers. A niche market is what Squarespace is usually for, and again, is marketed toward more small businesses. Again, with Shopify, you have to add in a lot of add-ons, including shipping. Whereas with Squarespace, the shipping label creation and everything is already built into the platform. Shopify, you will have to add on that program in order to print out your shipping labels. Okay. There's another one that's pretty big. It's called Big Commerce. Big Commerce is for, again, that larger inventory, but it's harder to make changes on Big Commerce a little bit. So if you're not too fluent with these different sites, that's where the tech therapist will come in, and we would kind of guide you through that process. Okay. Again, more than 70 types of built-in discounts with Big Commerce, but it's not for the small business. It's not for the beginner. This is a more advanced website platform that is, again, for the bigger product inventory. And so if you need some help sorting these things out, that's where we come in. I, the tech therapist, will help walk you through deciding either which platform to use or which one to, if you've already signed up for a website, we can help optimize that or help make you make that change. Okay. Now, Wix. Wix is another website builder platform. Over 800 templates that you can use. And again, templates, that's our third tech term for tonight. Templates, when it comes to website, it already is kind of built out for you, and it allows that drag and drop option for those who are beginners or who are trying to seek it out on their own and go ahead and build their website on your own. They do have that drag and drop option for you. Wix is very easy to use for beginners, okay? And again, it's only for about 100 products or less. If you have a big inventory or you're planning on having a big inventory, I suggest you go with the Shopify and Big Commerce. But if you're more of a creative, where not only do you have some product, but you kind of want to tell your story, I would definitely suggest that you use either Squarespace or Wix for that type of inventory. Okay. Something else with all of the platforms, you always want to make sure that you have your Google Analytics and your Google Search Console integration set up. Those are some things where the tech therapist will come in and I would help you put those together. We would take the pixel and embed it into the website so that way you can get the Google Analytics and see how your website is performing across the web. Okay. Some people, when they are beginners, they don't know that they need the Google Analytics or don't know how to use it or don't realize why it's important. People are constantly searching for products that you probably have or services that you're probably offering, but it's not getting out there because your Google Analytics is not set up. Your SEO is not set up properly. And that's where I would come in and kind of walk you through those things, but also set up that SEO for you. What my job is as a tech therapist is to take all of that effort and time that you don't have to build your website, and we build it for you. We put all that time and effort for you in getting the Google Analytics and the different pieces of the website set up correctly. That way you can just launch. We have your product descriptions and pricing. We're able to add that onto the website so that way you can go ahead and just be the creative and be the business owner. We've already done the hard work for you. So again, if technology is not your love language, email us at techtherapy@tvptechsolutions.net. I'd be more than happy to take on your case and help you get your website built and optimized so people can find you. You can do business not just in your state, do business across the country, do business in other countries. But no one will be able to do those kind of business with you if it's not optimized correctly and not set up correctly. We want people to be able to find you from wherever they are. Okay. So again, depending on the type of business that you have, the type of services that you're offering, that is what is going to be the main driving factor in which website platform that you choose. Now, when it comes to pricing, again, you can usually get a free trial with Wix and with Squarespace and Shopify. But Wix has an unlimited free trial amount limit, okay? But you will definitely want to get a domain and apply your domain to your website. That is your property. Just because you have a domain does not mean you have a website. So you want to make sure that you get one to do the other, okay? And also, when you're doing this business and you want that online presence, you want to go ahead and have your domain so you can add your business contact information to your website. You want to be able to add that business email to your website so people can contact you. And we usually put that in the footer. When I put that in the footer, it's on every single page your website. And so that way, if I go to a different page on your website, that footer stays the same with that contact information and any other details that we talk about that you'd like to live in your footer of your website, okay? As well as you want folks to communicate with you. You may have a contact us page. The contact us page will directly connect that contact form to your business email, okay? These are all things that we integrate within the website. Again, figure out what kind of business that you have first and foremost and what kind of business you want to do. If you have a lot of product that you're trying to get out, I would definitely suggest Shopify. They have these cool apps where you can do like a spin the wheel deal and land on different percentages. But I, the tech therapist, let's say you don't know how to go in and do those things, but you know that's what you want. What I would do is go ahead, apply that for you, just get some information from you. Okay, what kind of discounts do you want to offer? Do you want to offer 15% off, 20% off, buy one, get one free? And I'm able to take those discounts that you want to offer and apply those to the add-ons that we put onto the website. So again, this is all a part of my intake with new clients who are looking to either one, build or have a website built from scratch, or two, those who may have had a website builder at one time and they kind of just left them, and your website is in it's not doing anything because they didn't revamp it for you. That's where I would come in. Go ahead and do an assessment of your website if you already have one, or do an assessment of the type of business that you have. And then at that point, we're able to suggest what kind of platform you should choose. During those tech therapy sessions is when I do my intake information, gathering what kind of business that you have. And then that way I can go ahead and revamp that or build it from scratch and take that tech part off your plate and be able to give you the time to focus on, okay, I got to get this type of inventory. I got to get these different things together. This is just one piece of the puzzle that myself as a tech therapist is able to help you take off your plate. So we'll take a break here and just wait for any questions to come filter in. And then we'll be able to move on to our next subject for next week when we talk more. Again, we'll go through all the episodes, make sure folks know to get their domains and things like that. But next week, we're going to talk about the legal documentation that you'll need on your website, and that is terms and conditions. All businesses need terms and conditions. When we talk about that, we're talking about your refund policy. We're talking about how many days folks can get a refund, or what kind of condition the product has to be in order for them to get a refund. So that's going to be next week. We're going to talk more about, before you hit publish, do you have all your legal documentation in order to launch your website for your business? Okay. We want to ensure that not only are you doing business, but you're doing it legally, or if someone tries to come back, you can hold them against the contract that they signed or that they purchased through your website. If you don't have terms and conditions on your website and someone asks for a refund, you could end up in court. We don't want you to end up in court. So have your terms and conditions. That's the small writing. It's not just a couple of words. Here at TVP Tech Solutions, I actually curate those technical legal documentations for you with the small writing, with the refund policy and everything like that. So we're going to go ahead and save that for next week. But again, so many website platforms. What's best for you? And again, this is the battle of the website platforms, the website builders. And why I would suggest these for folks who have business, because time is money. If you don't have the expertise to build out a WordPress site, I would not suggest for you to do a WordPress site. For those who want a site they can just go in and make changes, I, the tech therapist, will actually have a back end logistics training with you to show you how to see who's been purchasing, be able to conduct email marketing for those folks who have purchased or even visited your website. We can help you set up those things. So, again, today we talked about the kind of drag and drop beginner templates, but also for those who may not have the time to build out those websites. So we talked about Shopify, we talked about Squarespace, BigCommerce, Wix. We dabbed a little bit into the Google Analytics and the Google Search Console. You definitely want to make sure your Google Analytics is in order so people can find you. We talked about 3 different tech definitions today: POS, which is point of sale; SEO, search engine optimization; and the Google Analytics. You want to ensure that your Google Analytics is set up again, and your SEO, making sure those keywords are injected into your website so people, when they search for a specific product, you're one of those search options. SEO does not push overnight, okay? You want to make sure your SEO is set up, and it will take some time because it's a lot of people doing business on the web. So as long as your SEO is set up and folks are looking for a photographer in Texas, or a massage therapist in Texas or in Chicago, if your SEO is set up correctly and someone goes to search for that, yours is going to be one of those options, okay? But it does take time to apply. So what do I suggest? It just depends on the type of business you have. Schedule a tech therapy session with me, the tech therapist, and we can go over what kind of business you have and what kind of website platform builder that you should go on and take. We also offer managed services. If you don't have the time to continuously update your website, you can always have a managed service agreement with TVP Tech Solutions LLC, and we'll ensure that your website platform is continuously updated, or if you need changes to be made, we can step in and do those changes for you as a part of your managed services agreement. So we will hold the line for any questions that come through. In the chat, we have put our email address, techtherapy@TVP Tech Solutions. And if you want to go ahead and get your business launched, but you kind of don't know where to start, what to do first, what comes next, or you have a website and you need it completely revamped, text us, call us, email us, and set up a tech therapy session. And I'll be happy to do the intake, gather those details, and guide you to a deadline launch date for your business. So again, we'll take a couple of seconds. And if we don't have any other questions, next week, join us for Tech Tip Tuesday, where we talk about terms and conditions and the legal documentation you need for your online business. If you're selling product, that includes your refund policy, your privacy policy, all these different legal matters that need to be shown on your website. So that way, if someone wants a refund, they have to read the policy and they have to abide by that. Okay? Awesome. Awesome. Our website and our email is in the chat. We'll also put it in our Instagram chat as well. Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today for Tech Tip Tuesday with Terenee, the tech therapist. Again, you can email us at techtherapy@TVP Tech Solutions, and we'd be more than happy to answer any of those questions, get you scheduled and booked for an intake session, which is your tech therapy session. And if tech is not your love language, again, I am the tech therapist and I can go ahead and solve some of those tech issues for you. Okay. Again, look down at the bottom. There's our website, TVP Tech Solutions. It also will go over the different website platforms and pricing plans per page. Okay, it'll show you our starting price point to get your website built out. We also offer consultations for corporate, okay, for IT policies and procedures. And if you just have some general questions before you want to get started, email me at techtherapy@TVP Tech Solutions, and we'll ensure to answer those questions for you and get you a tech therapy session booked. Thank you so much for joining us for Tech Tip Tuesday. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.